May 15th, 7:12 a.m. We had a pretty bad storm last night. We are interested in this property, so the current property that we own, we purchased it, and they told us that it was not very wet area. And of course, after the first heavy storm, it was very, very wet and mushy. I told my wife that I wanted to come out here this morning at this property that we're looking at to ensure that, or to look at what it looked like after a heavy rain, which we experienced last night. Rained pretty damn good, but we can see that the water came all the way up into the porch. That's all wet still. There's water there. It could be definitely splashed back too, so don't know if it was really flooded. It could be just water coming down, but definitely is a low area, and it needs to be taken care of for access, as it floods very, very easily. That is the front yard, and it is flooded all the way around and all across the front of the property. It's really deep by that green box out there, and towards the driveway, which will need to be raised. It goes almost to my knees at a certain point up there to get into the area, and doesn't look like it comes all the way up to the house, but as a preventative, we'll probably have to lay some more dirt down and definitely drive it away from the house to make sure that it never gets in the house. Here is probably about 15 feet away from the house, and you already see some pooling of water. In the backyard, we're looking at potentially about 25 to 30 feet out. Then it starts with the water. The pond that is back there, I'm sure is crested, or however you say it for a pond. It is overflowing and not contained as it was. In the back area, have to walk a little slow because I did not come out prepared for a flood, but much more for mushy. Of course, my fault. So careful here. The whole backyard is flooded. We're currently still about 25 feet away from the house. And then on this side, it looks like the water butts up all the way to the house, which is concerning. And that might be, and finally explains why those stones were there. That raises it, but there's definitely going to need to be some dirt. So there's the corner of the house, and there's the water. I don't know if it ever gets high enough to get into it, and I wish I had access to the house right now to see if there's water on the ground inside anywhere in these rooms. And I'm going to keep videoing because I need to show the depth of the driveway. Glass. And as I'm walking back out to the car, I will show a couple of left and right views from the driveway to show that it's not just in localized areas, but seems to be pretty overall low-lying area that needs to be taken care of. It's addressed. It's going to cost money to raise up this area and get the water to be away from our house. I don't know how much work it will be, but it's concerning. Currently on the driveway, and as you can hear, it's just squish, 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 squish. And it's ankle deep now. And it is all around. The lot, that direction behind that pine tree, they've been doing work on their field, so they've raised their ground level up. So the water, of course, seeks the lowest ground and deflected towards this way. And I'm going to come back out here later in the afternoon to see how fast this recedes. That's another thing, is that we're looking for this to be our business. And if it's supposed to be our business, how's a customer supposed to drive through here? As you can see, it's pretty extensive amount of water. So it has to go somewhere. And right here, it's about mid shin. I'm 5'9", maybe a little bit over a foot of water. And it gets a little bit deeper as I get closer to the end of the driveway because it bellies down. So as stated, I'll be back out here this afternoon to take a look at how fast this recedes. I think that'll be a factor, plus or minus.